relax, and let tonight's peaceful tale carry you to sleep. The celebration of Wisteria and Blossom. This story is about a kind human named Wisteria, who receives a heartfelt celebration from the ancient forest guardian Blossom for her love and harmony with nature. In a land where the sky kissed the earth with a hue of golden brilliance, lived a kind-hearted human named Wisteria. Her hair was akin to the flowers she was named after, cascading in rich purple waves down her back. Each morning, she wandered the edge of the vast forest, collecting herbs and singing cheerful tunes that brightened the day of anyone who heard them. The forest itself was guarded by an ancient forest guardian named Blossom, a majestic being with skin as green as the ferns and eyes that shimmered like dew on spring leaves. Despite Blossom's formidable presence, she had a gentle soul. She cared for every tree, flower, and animal as if they were her own children. In early spring morning, as Wisteria sang a particularly beautiful song, she noticed something unusual. The forest seemed more alive, more vibrant than ever before. Curious, she ventured deeper than she ever had. That's when Blossom revealed herself from behind a towering oak, her presence blending with the flora around her. Wisteria, she spoke in a voice that sounded like the rustling of leaves. You have brought great joy to our forest. Today we wish to celebrate you. Wisteria's eyes widened with surprise and delight as she followed Blossom to a hidden glade. The glade was illuminated by thousands of fireflies, their lights dancing in harmony with the twinkling stars above. Creatures of the forest had gathered, from the tiniest insects to the grandest of stag deer, all looking at her with admiration. All your kindness has not gone unnoticed, Blossom continued, presenting Wisteria with a crown woven from the finest vines and adorned with the most fragrant blossoms. Your heart sings with love for nature, and tonight, we celebrate your spirit. Wisteria accepted the crown, tears of joy filling her eyes. The celebration that followed was a magical experience. All her flowers bloomed in her path, animals danced round her, and the air was filled with the most wonderful melodies sung by birds. As the night grew deeper, Wisteria realized that it was not just a celebration of her acts, but a celebration of the harmony between humans and nature. She danced and laughed, feeling as if she floated on air. Blossom too joined the revelry, her presence making the celebration even more enchanting. The night was filled with stories, laughter, and a profound sense of unity. Finally, as the dawn began to break, Blossom brought Wisteria to the edge of the forest. Thank you, Wisteria, she said softly, for reminding us of the beauty of coexistence. With a heart full of gratitude, Wisteria returned home, knowing she would always be a cherished part of the forest. As she lay down to sleep, the gentle hum of the forest filled her ears, a sweet lullaby to dream by. Their story became a cherished legend in the village, a symbol of true friendship transcending seasons. The next story awaits, calm and kind. William and the Hedgehog, Forging Bonds. This story is about a young boy named William, who forms a deep bond with an injured hedgehog he finds and nurses back to health. In a quaint village nestled between rolling hills and whispering woods, lived a compassionate young boy named William. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the village, William wandered into the forest. He often sought solace among the trees, but today his heart carried a feeling of longing. As he treaded softly on the moss-covered path, he noticed a small, injured hedgehog curled up under a cluster of vibrant ferns. Gently, he approached the tiny creature, and to his surprise, the hedgehog looked up with trusting eyes. William named him William after himself, to symbolize a bond he hoped to forge. He carefully carried Hedgehog William back home, his heart swelling with a promise of care. Over weeks, William nursed the hedgehog back to health, feeding him fresh berries and protecting him from the cold. And bond grew stronger with each passing day. William and Hedgehog William shared countless adventures. They ventured into the woods together, exploring hidden nooks and learning the secrets of the forest. In one crisp autumn afternoon, as they rested by a sparkling brook, Hedgehog William chattered excitedly, pointing his tiny paw towards the horizon. William followed his gaze and saw a magnificent rainbow ocean across the sky. They marveled together, understanding the beauty of their world and the miracle of their friendship. Winter arrived, wrapping the village in a blanket of snow. Hedgehog William hibernated snugly in a cozy nest William had prepared, while the boy kept watch outside, ensuring his friend's sight safety. When spring returned and the snow melted away, Hedgehog William emerged, healthy and strong. The village celebrated their friendship, recognizing the bond that transcended species and hardships. William and Hedgehog William continued to grow together, their journey weaving an unbreakable tapestry of love and trust. Through their story, the villagers learned the value of compassion, the strength of kindness, and the beauty of unexpected friendships. And every night, as William lay down to sleep, the gentle rustling of the forest reminded him of the little hedgehog that had changed his life forever. Inside her cozy room, Frisia placed the pendant on her bedside table, its gentle glow a reminder of the extraordinary night she had experienced. From that day forward, whenever Frisia felt a bit down or lost, she would hold the pendant in her hand and feel the warmth of Daisy's magic filling her with renewed joy and hope. The bond between Frisia and Daisy remained strong, a testament to the power of kindness and the joy it can bring to the world. Let's wander softly into another story. Clover and Brave Puppy, A Tale of Harmony. This story is about Clover and her puppy Dan, who find harmony and unity in their village through bravery and music. Once upon a time, in a quaint village surrounded by rolling hills and vibrant meadows, there lived a young girl named Clover and her faithful puppy named Dan. Clover had raven black hair that sparkled under the sunlight, and her eyes were the color of the deepest forest green. And the brave puppy had a coat as golden as the first rays of dawn and eyes that glistened like polished amber. They were inseparable friends, sharing every joy and sorrow, always in perfect harmony. Every morning, Clover and Dan would venture out into the meadow where the air was fresh, filled with the scent of wildflowers, and the sky seemed endless. Clover loved to play the flute, and Dan would frolic round her, his tail wagging in rhythm to the melodious tunes. One day, as they were exploring deeper into the forest than ever before, they stumbled upon a hidden glade. In the center of the glade stood an ancient tree, its branches twisted and gnarled, but still full of life. Hanging from the tree were countless little bells that tinkled with the slightest breeze, creating a symphony that resonated through the forest. Clover and Dan were mesmerized by the harmony of the bells and decided to visit the glade every day. The more they visited, the more they noticed the forest's creatures gathering round, drawn by the peaceful music. Birds of every color, deer, rabbits, and even shy foxes came together, their differences forgotten in the presence of such unity. One afternoon, a great thunderstorm threatened the village. Everyone hurried to their homes, but Clover and Dan were determined to protect their special glade. They braved the fierce winds and torrential rain, reaching the glade where the bells were now clanging wildly in the storm. Clover took out her flute and began to play, her music blending with the wild clamor of the bells. Dan stood steadfast beside her, barking encouragingly. The music seemed to calm the storm, and slowly, the fierce winds subsided. When the storm passed, a rainbow arched across the sky, and sunlight filtered through the droplets, making the bells sparkle like 1,000 diamonds. The village people, who had witnessed Clover and Dan's bravery from afar, came to the glade and were astonished by the magical harmony that had united them. From that day on, the glade became a symbol of unity and peace for the entire village. Clover and Dan continued to visit their special place, ensuring it remained a haven for all. Through their unwavering bond and courage, they showed everyone that true harmony could be achieved by embracing our differences and standing together. And so, in the heart of the village, among the rolling hills and vibrant meadows, Clover and Dan lived happily ever after. Now, we continue with another gentle story. Susan and Yarrow, The Adventure of Home. This story is about Susan and her beetle friend Yarrow, who discover that home is where their hearts feel most alive. On the edge of the bustling city lived a young girl named Susan, whose heart brimmed with curiosity and wonder. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Susan spotted a shimmering, tiny beetle with iridescent wings. She named him Yarrow, after the delicate flowers in her grandmother's garden. Yarrow responded to Susan's gentle touch, sensing her kindness. Over time, they developed a beautiful friendship, communicating through gestures and shared glances. Yarrow often perched on Susan's shoulder as she explored the nearby forest. One day, a fierce storm broke out, and in the chaos, Yarrow got lost. Distraught, Susan searched everywhere, calling out for her tiny friend. Days turned into weeks, yet there was no sign of Yarrow. Susan's heart ached. Her home felt empty without her dear companion. One quiet morning, as Susan sat by the window, a familiar shimmer caught her eye. Immediately, she ran outside and found Yarrow, wings glittering in the sunlight. He had returned, with a message encapsulated in a tiny leaf. Autumn should venture to a place where the forest met the sea. Excited, Susan and Yarrow set off on their new adventure. The journey was long and filled with challenges, but together, they faced each obstacle with determination. Finally, they reached the destination, a beautiful place where the forest kissed the ocean. It was as if the world had painted this spot just for them. Susan and Yarrow built a new home there, where the sound of the waves whispered through the trees and the scent of the sea mingled with the flowers. They realized that home was not just a place, but where their hearts felt most alive. Their bond deepened, and every night, under a blanket of stars, Susan would tell the Yarrow stories of their adventures. They knew that as long as they were together, they were home. Good night. May you find warmth in your rest.